Welcome to another Fun Monster discussion. As a part of our goals of trying to be more on the point with things, talking about our favorite things ever, video games. Don't tell my comic book fans.
This is still here, by the way.
Shut up! I like those just as much. Comic books, and because this is comic books, this is video games for me, and they're always fighting with each other. And then we get a game like Spider-Man, and I'm like, everything's good with the world. Okay, she has the willpower to kill me.
Sorry.
Anyway, today we've all been back. We're back from all of our travels. Everything's good to go, and we wanted to get right on the ball talking about the Telltale game situation.
Yep.
Now, I've been following it pretty closely, but the fact is there's not much like concrete information.
They kind of are.
But there is, but there isn't. There's concrete information as to what's happening with them. There's no concrete
They're
information
fired.
as
That's
to
what's happening. There's only 25 people left. It's
No,
true.
There is.
It's awful.
What I'm saying is there's no concrete information as to what exactly was the downfall of the company. There's a lot of people going
You can
mismanagement.
speculate. Yeah, you can speculate.
There's a lot of
all
people
you
stating
want.
they had too many licenses.
Yeah.
But I have yet to. I couldn't find anything that definitively said.
I think it's a
came out
little bit
second.
of everything, to be completely honest.
That's what I think it is too.
Yeah.
So she has played a ton of the Telltale games. I've
Yes.
played Batman, Walking Dead.
You kind of give up halfway during Batman 2.
I did. I got bored. Who wants to be Batman? I don't. But that sounds wrong. You know what I mean?
What?
Who wants to be Bruce Wayne?
What? It's even worse.
Bruce Wayne is just rich white guy simulator. Who wants to play that? Apparently, a lot of people did. So I mean, I don't know.
I did. I mean, technically. I mean,
Even Gary's rolling his eyes. He's like, I kind of want to play rich white guy simulator.
I enjoyed it personally
Yeah.
because of Catwoman, though. So.
But a lot of people have played the entire library, and Telltale Games has become a staple. They pioneered a new style of game. Now, like I said, there's a lot of theories as to what happened. They got too many licenses. They didn't upgrade their engine,
Yep.
which led to a lot of people not wanting to play them.
Yeah.
They oversaturated their own market.
Yes.
And all of it sounds like just bad management decisions in general, and it all seems to get chopped up to them.
And not much promotion either.
Promotion did get less and less as they were going.
Yeah. Because I didn't even know that Guardians was released. I actually
Really?
did.
I saw a lot of
I did some
promotion for that.
research, and I've never seen it. I was actually looking forward
Although I
to it
didn't know
because
they
I
were
love the
working on a
movies.
Stranger Things game.
Yeah, they were.
So
that is
from
canceled.
what we've heard, the company has been completely disbanded.
Yeah.
There's 25 people left.
25 people because they have to finish their Minecraft story mode.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I guess something for Netflix with it.
They had a contract with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I guess I'm looking at a title right now that says that. So from what we understand, everything else is canceled.
Yes.
Everything else. Even the
Especially-
rest of Walking Dead, the final season, they're not even going to finish it.
Yeah. Well, then again, Walking Dead though is really starting to get saturated. Like the whole zombie thing.
Well, yeah, but this
It's
is the
just getting-
resolution to the whole plot.
I know.
they've
Yeah.
done.
Well, obviously, if you've been following the whole
What was the little
Walking
girl's
Dead,
name? Because it's done the whole thing with her.
Not Michonne, right? No, it's that was a
Well, no, the
completely
little girl.
different one.
Because
That's
I
the one
played
we
the
played
first one.
though. We
Yeah,
played
we did the
Michonne.
first one.
Yeah.
We did Michonne too.
I don't remember because we kind of just gave up.
No, I
during
played the
Michonne.
first one and I played the Michonne one, but I didn't play the others that came with it.
I don't remember.
I did
just
Tales
want-
of Borderlands too. Tales of the Borderlands.
Dude, okay,
the fact
listen.
that we have so many things to name that we can't even remember
Tales.
them all should tell you a problem.
Tales though. Tales is the very first.
Clem. They're all telling us on their Twitch.
There you
chat.
go. Yes, Clem.
Clementine.
It's the very first story-driven game that introduced me to the whole, genre
Of what?
of like story-driven games, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with that game, and that's actually what got me into Life is Strange. Like the very first one I played was Tales, and to this day, I'm still going to stand by my statement and say that I like it better than Life is Strange because of the comedy
Tales what?
of the Borderlands.
Oh, Tales of the Borderlands.
Yes.
Okay. You said Tales, and I'm like,
Yeah, no, of the
their name is
Borderlands.
Telltale.
Sorry.
Like, What are you talking about?
Sorry. Yeah. Just because, don't get me wrong, I like Life is Strange, but Borderlands though, I mean, I love the series first of
Yeah.
all, and then the voice acting, the comedy, and just the story in general. Like it made you care about the characters that just weren't in the 3 Borderlands at all. That's what I liked about it personally, and I feel like that's honestly I would have liked to see it continue, but unfortunately, I think that a lot of people are actually more upset about The Wolf Among Us 2 being
The Wolf
canceled.
Among Us 2 is the one that people seem to be upset
Yes.
about. Also,
Yeah.
the not completing the final season.
Because I've played I think 1 or 2 episodes of The Wolf Among Us,
Yeah.
and it was great. It was great, but unfortunately, those who played it are
just so we can be more up to date as to what's happening
Yeah.
with this whole thing, I did pull up articles. These are 4 hours old from Polygon. But last Friday, Telltale Games, the developer behind the IP-driven and point-and-click games like The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
laid off most of its staff, and apparently none of them got severance. none of them are getting any.
No,
Like they
listen,
literally are living in one of the most expensive areas in LA, and they just let them all go.
Yeah, I've read a couple of tweets, and they were saying that after they gave out the news that they were all fired, they had like 30 minutes to clear out their offices.
Yeah.
And then I think they have like maybe 3 hours to get their stuff on Friday, like one by one.
And that's all they get.
It's insane. They have
a huge closure.
It really is. Yeah, because most people, I mean, they have families. That's you know,
and they're living in a very expensive area.
Yeah, and like most of them just took the trip to get that job.
There's stories of people who have just moved out there within the last month to start a job at Telltale.
That's awful. That's awful.
Yeah. Today, Telltale made the difficult decision to begin a majority studio closure following a year marked by insurmountable challenges, the company said in the official statement. A majority of the company's employees were dismissed earlier this morning, with a small group of 25 employees staying behind to fulfill the company's obligations to its boards and partners. At the time of the statement on Friday afternoon, those obligations remained unclear, but according to both Game Informer and US Gamer citing unnamed sources, The Walking Dead final season, which premiered the first episode on August 14th, would be canceled and become incomplete. Other reports suggest that The Wolf Among Us 2, which is also a victim of cancellation, and the final projects include an adaptation of Minecraft Story Mode for Netflix, which would make the original 2015 game playing on a streaming platform, and a Walking Dead-like game inspired by the streaming giants Stranger Things.
Yeah. Everybody was looking forward to that.
Netflix tells Polygon that many of the games are still happening to be completed by Telltale's skeleton crew, while the other will spring back to life in a new home. Netflix's response is, "We are saddened by the news about Telltale Games. They developed many great games in the past and left an indelible mark in the industry. Minecraft Story Mode is still moving forward as planned. We're in the process of evaluating options of bringing the Stranger Things universe to life in an interactive medium." So what the latest is that Netflix says that their idea to work with them on the Stranger Things game, that game is still going to happen. They just don't know where it's going to go.
Right. I mean, we kind of knew that it was kind of heading that way last year when they let go of like 90 people already.
Yeah.
But this is just, I mean, closing the entire
It was
company
looking
down.
bad, and every time I'd see a review on a Telltale game, it was more full of complaints and issues. That the engine was outdated, there was a lot of bugs and problems with the games. I feel, in my opinion, and this, like I said, we have no confirmation or anything, they just saw, they had a gold mine, and they just started rushing out titles. They didn't take their time with the titles, which is what made Walking Dead 1, The Wolf Among Us, Tales of Borderlands really good. They took their time to make them worth it. And they stopped caring, and they started being like, well, how many licenses can we get? How many licenses can we throw out?
I mean, it's just, I mean, just like any other game companies at this point, nowadays, unfortunately, it's all about the money. And they just weren't making enough money, so...
Telltale Game employees were surprised by CEO Pete Howley announcing the closure of the company at a staff-wide meeting. One employee, a source told Kotaku, had been working until 3 a.m. the night before with no inkling that the studio was about to let them and over 200 employees go, leaving behind a skeleton crew of 25 to finish off a final project.
That's insane.
Minecraft Story Mode. The suddenness of the meeting at the company's San Rafael, California headquarters was described to a Kotaku employee by a former employee who was there but wanted to remain anonymous as they pursued looking for work elsewhere in the video game industry. The timing was just one of the meeting's unwelcome surprises. The head of human resources dropped another bombshell, the audible shock to the Telltale employees that there would be no severance. Those laid off were encouraged to begin applying for unemployment as soon as possible and were told that their health benefits would run out at the end of the month, just 9 days later.
Apparently some people also were doing overtime and never getting paid for it.
They had 30 minutes to leave the building. The lack of severance, a detail that began circulating on Twitter shortly after the shutdown, is one of the bitterest details in a game studio collapse that sparked outrage and sympathy amongst those who play and make games. Telltale's been around for more than a decade, while in the midst of rolling out a new episode of its signature series about The Walking Dead, episode 2 of a supposed 4 planned release tomorrow. The rationale for failing to pay out severance provided by Howley, according, was that the business closure rather than partial layoffs. Like 25% downsizing that hit the studio last November. We knew about that. There wasn't much consolidation. However, to the people who had been working long days leading up to Friday, while the source knew the company's future was in question, they never suspected the end was so close in hand. By the time they got back to their desks, their work Google accounts had already been disabled.
That's insane, man.
That, something is off with that. With how quickly and just, we're done. Everyone go home.
And like the whole, like, you've got 30 minutes to clear out your desks. Like, where do I go? Like, you know?
So what do you think? I know I've said a lot because I've been reading the articles.
That's fine. I mean, I think, like you said at the very beginning, I think it's a mix of a couple of things.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely games nowadays and gamers in general. You're right, they oversaturated their market. You're right, but also I think that because they're episodic, I feel like a lot of people just feel like getting their game like right away. Like
I think episodic did hurt it.
Yeah, even if they have to spend $60 and just play the game and that's it. I mean, it's more expensive, but overall, just getting the game and just getting everything at hand. Is going to be better overall than just waiting for episodes like every 2 or 3 months, and then just eventually just forgetting about it, Like that happened to me before. I was like, oh, this episode 4 of Batman just came out, I didn't even know, So I was interested in the game itself, but if you're not interested, then I feel like you would just automatically go for something that's just got the whole story given to you and that's it. Just stick with that.
I've never been a fan of episodic video games. I am notorious for waiting until they finish.
Yeah, it's just like series on the TV, same thing. We don't like waiting every single week for episodes
Netflix
to air
has ruined
out.
me with binge watching.
Exactly. So we've been spoiled at this point. It's really true. I mean, even when it comes to games, we just want to have our game right away and that's it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's honestly, I mean, I love these type of games. It's a very niche market though. And it caters to
It definitely is, because it is a choose your own adventure.
Yes,
a lot of people that will play Telltale games won't play a lot of the other more high octane games. I don't like playing Telltale games till their end. I've played very few of them. Walking Dead, I played the Batman game, and I got bored of the Batman game going through it. Tales of Borderlands I did because I'm a huge fan of the Borderlands universe in general. Like I love the whole thing. But even that was kind of difficult to go through. I mean, a similar game in the vein of that, Life is Strange, we only did because we did it on stream as opposed to me sitting around playing.
Yes, and I mean, I feel like those type of games also have it harder because if you don't hook the player base, and with your very first episode, they won't be coming back. They'll be like, all right, well, I just wasted $5 or like 10 or 15. Or and just move on to something else. They'll never be back, and that's unfortunate. And also there's just you play it once. And that's it, it's done. Or if you don't want to spend the money, you just watch someone else on YouTube just play it, and that's it.
And I think there's also another problem with the nature of those games. They're very easy to watch somebody else play.
They really
Once
are,
you choose your adventure, go, well, I wouldn't pick that. Let's see who did the other option. And they're easy to find. It's not like, I wonder how well this person did or how that segment in the game goes through.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think that's, like you said, a little bit of everything, honestly. Mainly, I mean, hopefully, because these people are so talented, the one that they just let go, I really hope that they're just going to pull the same thing that they did with when EA let Visceral Games go. Just a couple of game companies just, recruiting
come in
them.
and pick them all up.
Exactly. I really hope that's what's going to happen for them.
Hopefully, because I do feel bad for a lot of them. The sudden notice, the no severance, the 9 days of health insurance. That's crazy.
Yes, it really is.
I get it. The whole company shut down. So what are you going to do about it?
I'm sure they feel awful about it, but
I would hope that the CEO tried everything in his power to avoid what ended up happening.
Well, I'm sure he did, but that's unfortunate.
All right, well, I mean, not much more to say. We weren't playing the final season because we obviously.
Yeah, it's sad because you're just watching some of your favorite studios just shut down one after the other, and you're like, what's going on, please?
It's the gaming market changing.
I know it's awful.
It's
awful. I know.
It's completely different than the way it was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
and things
it
like
is.
this are showing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm terrified for the future, honestly.
All right. Well, if you want more discussions like this, guys, let us know in the comments down below. We're going to keep working on the gaming channel over here, and you can find Nathalie on Twitter at @ZodicalCandy. You can find us on Twitch, filming these things live, twitch.tv/EligibleMonster, and you can find me over at ComicStorian on Twitter. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Let's close up this episode, Gary.